What's going on, guys? I'm back to share a very competitive road racing tune I've been working on here for the last few days. I haven't put this much effort into a road racing tune on this game probably ever, and in the Horizon series as a whole, it's probably the number 2 or 3 tune that I've put the most effort into. I would say I've made a lot of changes through a lot of trial and error, and it's a car I'm very glad is in the game. The car that I'm going to be showcasing a tune for today is the 2016 Ford GT number 66 GTLM Le Mans. It was added to Series 33 Apex All-Stars, and currently you can get it for 20 points. If you get 20 points throughout the series right now in week 1, you can get it pretty easily. I'm really glad they added this car. It's been on my bucket list for a while. And like past Horizon games, I've put on a livery of the 2017 Ford GT to depict the one in the racing version here, so to actually have the car in itself and not have the road version is very nice to have. A little brief history about this car. Ford went back to Le Mans in 2016 and they won on the 50th anniversary of the first one with the original Ford GT40. They went with this version of the Ford GT. As you can see, it was just like the street car. It is a twin-turbo V6, and it was driven by Joey Hand, Dirk Mueller, and Sebastian Bourdais. They couldn't win the entire event because those Le Mans prototype cars are absolutely insane, but it was able to win in its specific LMGTE class, and it won pretty considerably. So it's a nice piece of history that I definitely respect, being a fan of Ford Motorsports, so I'm really glad to put this car in the game. This tune I'm showing off here, I'll put it on the screen right now. It is called Trackstar. I will also show the share code. Now, I did upload 2 different tunes for this car in the same day, so if you don't use the share code and do it by searching for Be Drifty, use the one that has 187 mile per hour top speed. That is the most current one. This car is definitely meant for circuit racing, at least for this tune in the game. The car is not the fastest car in the world, so I think it's definitely suited towards circuit racing, not necessarily sprint racing. You get more into the like more technical circuits. You get like the Bola Ocho or like the Plaza circuit, the Cathedral circuit, that sort of thing. This car really shines. I'm showing a couple races here from a Horizon Open session. I was trying to find one where I could get mainly circuits, and I found this one that had 2 circuits in it, so I'm showing those races here. And this car holds its own pretty well on circuits. More of the high-speed circuits is probably not going to be the best thing. Like if you do usually like the Lookout circuit or something to that effect, where it's more high speed, it's probably not going to be the best. But usually on the lower speed, very technical, where you need very precise handling, good brakes, and all that sort of thing, this car is definitely going to be up there in the upper echelon of S1 vehicles. You can see in the footage here I'm showing, it's actually with a previous tune before I've made some other improvements, so it's definitely even better than the gameplay itself shows. But I'm very happy with this car. I'm proud of this car. Initially, when I saw this car released and I was able to get it, I was a little bummed out because by default it's like a 908, or I can't remember what it is by default, but it's in the very low 900s, and it's in the S2 class by default. And to get it down in the S1, you have to do an all-wheel drive swap, which actually one of my viewers in the last trial video actually told me this. I didn't even think about doing this for some reason. But you convert it down to all-wheel drive, and you can put thick tires on the rear of the car. You can get it down to S1. I'm also adding some heavier rims as well. It's probably the most efficient way to do it. You could also just convert it to all-wheel drive and use the semi-slick racing tires, but I think you're kind of doing a disservice to the car because this car creates so much downforce, and the racing tires it comes with by default are insane. They grip so well. So I think the best method to get this down to S1 is putting on the thickest tires you can for the rear tires and heavier rims, and keeping the stock tires. And you can add the anti-lag turbo system as well. It does kind of hinder handling a little bit if you're like off the throttle, but I honestly kept it on, or I put it on I should say, for the initial launch, because I had this thing geared pretty low using the stock transmission, so it does help on takeoff having the anti-lag system on the twin turbos there. So I think it's more of a benefit than it is a hindrance. But once you understand how the car kind of reacts when you're off throttle, you can kind of brake and kind of correct it from there and not really worry about sliding too much. But again, this car is very good for circuit racing. I definitely recommend it for the slower, more technical circuits. If you guys have this car by now, I'd love to know how your experiences have been with it. If you have your own tune, I'd love for you to try mine as well and kind of compare them and see how your tuning habits or your tuning methods differ from mine. I did do a few things that I haven't really done before, that a little bit unorthodox for me, and the tuning part of it, and the formula of the tune, I should say. I'm not going to give away all my secrets, but I did do some different things I don't normally do, and they proved to be very beneficial for this car. So if you want a good circuit racing car, this is definitely one to use. It'd be good for campaign racing, or if you want to do some Horizon Open racing when some circuits pop up. I'd definitely recommend this car. Leave a like on this video to help you out, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.